welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we've got to talk about way too early pitching trade targets for the Toronto Blue Jays. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and always use code TODAYJAYS when signing up for Monkey Knife Fight, like I know all of you are.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, it's obviously really early to be talking about this, but I feel like we've got to talk about this because our rotation so far in the early going hasn't been that good.
Exactly. I like how you just set that up, guys. We don't want to overreact too much right now, but if our rotation is still doing what they're doing right now, a month, 2 months from now, there might be some cause for concern. We're looking at Yusei Kikuchi with a 5.4, Manoah. God bless him with a 1.5 ERA. Thank you, son.
Thank you.
Gosman, our new acquisition, a 4.22 ERA. Not the worst start ever, but obviously room for improvement there.
Yeah.
Burrios. 11.81 ERA right now. And our other starter who just hit the IL, Hyun-Jin Ryu, not like he was doing the best either, guys. A 13.5 ERA on him, and now he's hurt. Now, we do have Stripling coming in. Maybe Stripling's a stud. Maybe he's not. We don't really know right now. But clearly, there is a lot to be left desired right here with this staff right now.
Regardless, obviously I'm going to give Ryu time, but there's still a giant question mark in my mind whether he could bounce back. So this calls to action. As general managers of the Toronto Blue Jays, maybe part-time general managers, we got to go out and find some people to replace this dude in the starting rotation.
Yes.
And who should we go out and replace him with, Nick?
Okay, well, we have a few different options here, guys. I kind of went for the more high-profile targets, and Adam went for those cheaper options, maybe like the fourth, the fifth starter, if they're having good years. And I do want to qualify that right now. This is all dependent on these guys have to have good years, and the team that they're on needs to be willing to trade them. Now, every team that we're looking at right now, probably pretty bad. They could be willing to trade, but who knows? Maybe the Miami Marlins decide to be good this year. So, yeah. Either way, number one potential way too early trade target is a guy we've looked at a lot previously. It's Luis Castillo on the Cincinnati Reds. 2-8 right now is the Cincinnati Reds, dude.
Yep.
They are going to be a bad baseball team. Luis Castillo was going to cost, but, I mean, he is kind of a stud, so...
Yeah, that's the thing. If we're going to go and get Luis Castillo, get ready to give up Jordan Groshans, maybe even Gabriel Moreno. He's kind of like Jose Barrios in my mind of last year. He's got another year on his contract.
That's
right.
Exactly. He has 2 years left. Now, he is injured right now, but we do obviously expect him to come back very, very soon, and this is dependent on him coming out, doing a good performance. The Reds are going to be bad this year. They're going to want to ship him off. This has already been talked about. I think he's on pretty much everyone's trade targets right now. There will be other teams in on him if he's good. And we really are bad pitching-wise. Kikuchi's not working. Ryu's not working. I could see Castillo being an actual target for these Blue Jays.
He'd be really nice in that rotation. And now we'll bounce it back to me.
Yes.
And because you've got the big guys, I've got the small fourth and fifth guys, like you said. For me, my first guy, and actually, funny enough, all my guys are on the Chicago Cubs, so a little spoiler.
Yeah, well, you're really, this is an act to the, this is like you're shooting a shot right now.
Oh, yeah, Cubs are going to be bad this year, guys. They're going to be bad this year. I'm already saying it.
Yeah.
We're going to have Wade Miley on this team potentially if we go out and look at that option, because Wade Miley, he's a 35-year-old starting pitcher. Obviously, the best days are behind him, but the last 3 seasons, he's got a 3.76 ERA. Now, he's injured right now, hasn't made his season debut, and currently, according to TradeValue.com, he's got a 0 trade value. This guy is going to be dirt cheap, going to cost nothing, and you could slot him in at the 4th spot and be pretty comfortable and expect you're going to get what you are expecting.
I'd say that we could trade Ryu for him, but we actually couldn't
because
0 is worth more than Ryu.
No, we can't. Yeah.
I don't actually know what Ryu. Well, okay, first off, we can't trade Ryu anyways, guys, because he's got a no trade clause. But I don't actually know what Ryu's trade value is. It's got to be negative a lot. It's got to be negative a lot. But yeah, I do like Wade Miley, and I was actually a little bit shocked to see the 3.76 on the last 3 ERA. This is a dude who does not get talked about nearly enough, and he is doing it very silently in that 3rd, 4th, 5th kind of pitching rotation spot.
It's because he's old. That's it.
Yeah.
It's because he's old.
He's old. He's on the Cubs right now. He's obviously not super duper exciting or anything, but like he could get it done. If he has a good year, absolutely, man. I could see that.
Absolutely.
Another guy, all you guys are going to love it. You've been calling for him for a minute. Pablo Lopez. This seems to be the one that everybody's enamored with right now. And I understand why. There are a lot of comparisons that you can make to potentially Pablo Lopez to an Alek Manoah.
Yeah.
They are both very, very young right now. Currently, Lopez in 2 starts, doing even better than Manoah, has a sub-1 ERA through 2 starts. He's incredible. Very clearly, he has figured something out in this league. The last 3 years have been phenomenal. He's actually going to cost less than Castillo significantly in a trade value, and I love that.
That's funny because we actually have an extra year with Lopez.
An additional year.
And I believe he's younger than Castillo.
26 years old right now.
Yeah, honestly, if I don't
I don't know if I buy it.
I don't buy it because I really do believe Lopez is more than Castillo. But if that's the case, and again, Miami's got ripped off in the past. We've ripped them off a couple times in the past few years. Hey, if we could do it again somehow, and I'd be willing. Just straight up Groshans and maybe a couple smaller guys. Done.
I mean, honestly, like Groshans and like maybe like our 10th or 15th prospect, like that actually could potentially get this done if these values are remotely like what they actually are.
Right.
I don't know. Like, it's obviously going to depend on how he does. If he's a sub-1 ERA 2 months into the season,
might go up.
I mean, like, he's not going anywhere, guys.
Yeah,
like, he will be staying there. But Pablo Lopez should be a name that we look at pretty much all season long.
Yeah, I agree. Another guy on the Chicago Cubs, shout out Cubs fans, is Drew Miley. Now, not as impressive as Wade Miley. Drew Smyly.
Yeah, this is the happy one.
Yeah, the names are getting confused with Miley and Smyly. Drew Smyly, last 3 seasons, a 4.04 ERA. So you just throw him in the back there, and that's what you're going to get. However, he's 32 years old, but so far, last 2 games, hasn't given up a single run in 9 2/3 innings. So, again, we got to see, like you said at the beginning of the podcast, how he does throughout the season. Again, this would be another cheap guy. He actually has less trade value than Wade Miley, negative 0.3.
Okay.
So, hey, I'd be down for it if it's going to cost literally nothing.
Did you say how many years he has left on his contract?
Yeah, so he's got 1 year. I did not say it, but 1 year, and he's got a mutual option. He's only going to cost $4.25 million.
So absolutely nothing. Low risk, potentially high reward.
Yep.
This guy, for me, is probably like the most dependent on how you are doing, because I have no idea if we'd even pick up that mutual option if we do trade for him. I don't know.
Right.
Or I mean, I don't know if even he would pick up the mutual option.
Who cares?
Right. So this is one of those dudes where it's like, okay, if Drew Smyly is out here, it's like, 3.5 ERA right now. Like, that's a lot better than Ryu. Maybe we can acquire some Drew Smyly.
Exactly, right. If Ryu's throwing us like an upper 8 ERA, like, get him out of the rotation. Drew Smyly has been very consistent in his career, so we'll take it.
Yeah, I agree. Last guy for me, last high profile dude. This guy is a guy that I realized when looking at him, I'm like, holy mother of God, like, I really want to have this guy on my team. It is Zac Gallen on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, he has been kind of riddled with injuries up until this point, and I know that we don't want to have another, like, Nate Pearson situation where it's, like, so much potential and just keeps getting hurt. But Zac Gallen is healthy right now, and that is the most important thing. When he's been healthy, we are looking at a sub-3 ERA on this guy, like top tier, like literally like potentially Cy Young worthy starting pitcher, just dying on this horrible, horrible franchise. I apologize, Arizona Diamondbacks, but like you guys know.
Oh, they know. Don't worry, they know.
They're well aware. 4 years left on his contract, extremely cheap on those 4 years, and again, less trade value than Luis Castillo, which I think is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I would love to get him, and again, like that would be my one concern is injury, but who cares? You have 4 years to get healthy. And like, again, he will cost the top prospects for sure, and hey, that's another stud in the rotation. Him. You got Manoah, Barrios, and Gausman locked down for sure for 4
You're looking at an incredible rotation.
4 years.
Zach. Absolutely,
4
dude.
years.
And again, worries about the injuries. Okay, I understand that. But that's why we get to watch him for 2 months before we trade for him.
That's exactly right.
If he's right now, he had 1 outing and didn't give up a run. He looks solid. If he's doing that and doing his sub-3 ERA like he's done in the past, and just like come trade deadline, it's like, oh holy mother fuck, there's Zac Gallen with a 2.5 ERA. Boom, acquire. I want him on our team.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. The last one isn't a starting pitcher. So far, we've just done starting pitchers.
Yeah.
This one is actually a bullpen guy, again, on the Chicago Cubs. But I figured, I don't know what it was. I was doing my research. And it was just,
you're literally just killing them right
Give
now.
Give me all your guys.
Yeah.
You are ass. So it's Mychal Givens, and I'm a little surprised. Mychal Givens, 31 years old, last 3 seasons has a 3.36 ERA.
Okay.
And he only has a 1-year, $3.5 million with a mutual option. And in 2022 so far, he has a 2.08 ERA. Short sample size,
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
But Mychal Givens has been pretty good, and he'll be that guy for you. And we've been saying how we need some more bullpen depth just to add in that little middle relief part. Join Trevor Richards in that little middle relief.
That's the thing. Like,
give us some options.
It's not a sexy acquisition by any means, but right now I do think that the back of the bullpen for the Toronto Blue Jays so far looks elite. I trust Simber, I trust Romano, and I am starting to trust Jimmy Garcia.
Yeah, me too.
And I do trust Tim Mays as well. The Trevor Richards, that kind of like, well, when we're tied and we need to carry over and our starting pitcher didn't go so long, that's for me where the issues lie. And I do think that getting one of these guys like a Mychal Givens would be really beneficial for the Blue Jays.
More depth, right?
More depth,
like I know we all were on Julian Merriweather's corner, but he's not looking good.
Yes, it might need to get pushed out of here, you know? It's like,
exactly,
it might need to go
right?
down and like, let's just get better guys in here. And then it's like, oh wow, like even when we're down, we still have good guys coming out to pitch, so we could potentially bring back those games that we're already 4 runs down by.
Right, exactly. And there will be injuries too, guys.
Yeah,
like there's gonna be injuries,
Yeah.
so just you need more depth. And I think Mychal Givens was a good guy to get, assuming he does well leading up to the trade deadline.
Love it, dude. Guys, comment down below your thoughts about all of these pitchers that we talked about. Who is your numero uno target for the Toronto Blue Jays? Or do you think we're good right now? Do you think all of our pitchers are going to bounce back and then we're going to stay healthy and everything's going to work? We're just too
elite right now.
Why?
We don't need anybody. We're the Toronto Blue Jays.
Anyone, guys. But let us know in the comments down below.
Guys, also $3 a month to become a Patreon. Shout out and thank you to all of our current Patrons. You guys are freaking awesome. Call into our Wine on Wine. Let us know.
Thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!